Everybody says culture is constant. Now you can never back down from that. Like it's going to be positive time. Sometimes there's negativity. And so you got to just continuously work on the culture, and it's communication, lifting people up. You just keep working at it every day. There's no magic. I don't think there's anything magic about it or anything special that I do or my team does. We just can't give up.
Welcome to the Jeff Sutherlin Show. Let's grow today as we learn from decades of real estate and leadership experience.
We want you to know that when you log into this show, you're going to get authentic conversation. We're going to give it to you straight, and it's going to be real. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Jeff Sutherlin Show. And today I'm joined by my business partner, Chase Waldron. It's a great month. It's my birthday month, Chase. It's March, so it just doesn't get any better. It's like 75 degrees every day in Arizona. Is this not a good place to be?
Yeah, you cannot beat it, man. It's a beautiful out here in Phoenix, Arizona, and it's your birthday month, man. How great is that? We're getting excited.
Yeah, it's all about me in the month of March.
Right, yeah.
That's right.
Oh, man. So, hey, we have a great guest with us today. I promised great guests, and we keep delivering, Chase, and we just have another one today. She's an expert in the insurance industry out of Tempe, Arizona. Her name's Lindsay. She runs a large team of producers at State Farm, and she's my go-to when it comes to getting buyers properly insured, and I refer people to her all the time, getting the right coverage, at the right price. But there's so much to talk about in this insurance niche. There's so many things that people don't understand. There's a lot of misinformation, and I'm excited because I think that she'll give some clarity around that. And a lot of people are always asking me, why is insurance going up? And a lot of why. And today, hopefully, some of those questions, will get answered. So what a privilege, Lindsay, to have you on the show today.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's great to be here. I love informing, the public and anyone I talk to about insurance in general, and especially State Farm.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's funny. We met years ago, Lindsay. You remember you were accompanying your father as you walked around, and you were meeting different business owners, and I was a co-owner of a brokerage, and you just cold called, you walked into the place, you had some candy and stuff, and you guys were so nice, and you were like getting like mentored by your father, weren't you? That was way back in like 2010.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he has taught me, for the most part, everything I know about building a business and supporting his customers in the community, his team, and just learning products and what we do to serve others.
That's so cool. So are you originally from Arizona?
So born and raised in Tempe. So wow. Went to Corona High School, went to Arizona State University. Yeah, I'm right here. Never left.
Well, I won't hold it against you that you're an ASU Sun Devil, but that's okay. That's okay.
I know. Hey, it's hard when we're the best. So
I agree, Lindsay.
I got two Sun Devils on the phone here. Okay,
that's right.
So what did your dad teach you about business? Like, tell us some of the highlights about, what are some of the greatest things he taught you over the years?
Yeah. So I would say some of the greatest things. So number one, taking care of our customers as well as taking care of your team. So he always says, we work for State Farm and have their products, but my customers are number one. So we have to take care of them. And if we take care of them, they'll take care of us. And then same with the team, the same mentality. So taking care of them, like he is still working to this day. And for, it's because of his customers and his team. He wants to keep providing for them. Also the knocking on doors, going door to door, not giving up. He always says, some days you just have to get bloody, and that's just getting no. And finally, there's going to be someone that says yes. Maybe it's not that day, but it's going to be another day. And Jeff, just like you kicked us out of your real estate firm, we got kicked out of many other places, and but we never, backed down. So he had to have a lot of pep talks with me, like, it's going to be okay, just keep going, keep going. So,
and you're still here doing it.
Still here, getting knocked down and getting back up again. Yep.
Well, if I did kick you out, I'm sure it was very lamb-like. I'm sure it was very loving that I did it in a lovingly way, right?
It was. I mean, when it comes to Jeff and Chase, two great men. So yeah, you were very kind. So
when it comes to people kicking you out of their firm, really nobody does it better than Jeff. So that's good.
Oh yeah.
So speaking about taking care of your team, Chase and I went to go visit your team and yourself, and I was blown away, honestly, with the culture, with the care that I could feel in the room. People cared about each other's success. That doesn't happen overnight, Lindsay. So, how'd you create that atmosphere there?
Oh gosh. Well, I mean, I don't know that if I did it. I mean, obviously it's hiring the right people, right? That would be one thing. Hiring people who truly care about others, the customers. And that is what I look for in anybody I hire is someone who cares. But then, it's just talking about it, communication every day. Like, it's okay to make mistakes, but we have to learn from them. You got to be respectful to your teammate, help the customer. And so I just think it's just a constant, everybody says culture is constant. You can never back down from that. Like, it's going to be positive time. Sometimes there's negativity. And so you got to just continuously work on the culture, and it's communication, lifting people up. Just keep working at it every day. There's no magic. I don't think there's anything magic about it or anything special that I do or my team does. We just can't give up, just kind of like anything in life, huh? You just got to keep working at it.
That's right.
Yeah, that's for sure. And we could definitely feel that. I mean, being in there with your team, we had a great lunch, had a lot of good conversations. So we could feel that culture. Everybody's super friendly. And it looks like they want to be there, which is important.
Yeah. We were all just, I hope so, most days. There's stuff going on in everyone's lives in any work environment, and so we're here at work more so than at home a lot of days. So you got to make it fun and positive and rewarding, right? Fulfilling. So yeah,
no doubt. No doubt. Yeah. And there's a lot of conversation around insurance right now, right? People are complaining about the rates and a lot of misinformation on kind of how those rates are calculated. Educate us a little bit on how those rates are calculated when it comes to insurance.
Yeah. So we look at, every company is different, but just talking from my experience is, so we look at credit. We don't look at it personally, but there are components of credit, claim history, how long you've been with your company, like loyalty, past due payments on your insurance, location, drivers, the type of vehicle. What else am I missing?
Is that like an algorithm then? It's like,
it is. Yeah. So insurance is a pooling of risk, right? Like, so they look at the location and, what kind of claims happened in that location, and so rates are going to be determined. If you move, your rate can change, right? If you add drivers, their components of their claim history, their credit scoring. Again, we don't see any of that, but every company uses credit of some kind. I don't know all exactly what they use. Our underwriting team in any company probably couldn't even tell you that. It's all like a computer database that works the numbers. So.
And so out of all of those different things that are taken into account, is there one lever that's, kind of pulls more weight? Is one more important than the other, or are they all pretty much, they're all important? Like the credit score and the claims, everything?
Yeah. How long? It is all important, Chase. I couldn't say one. Maybe somebody up higher than me could tell you something different, but from my experience and my, been doing this, like, I think it's like about 17 years or so. It's all important. So even how long you've owned a car, how crazy is that? That can impact the rate. So yeah, right now, like talking about homes in your business, when the roof was replaced, they're really looking at that because that's the number one cause of loss in Arizona is water damage. Even we're not necessarily talking about like water coming in through the roof. I guess sometimes we are, because if you have a faulty roof, water's going to get in, right? But also the pipes, like pipe bursts. So we don't pay to fix the pipes, we pay for the resulting damage. So, but it has to be sudden and accidental. It's not just low leak isn't something that's not covered, because that's supposed to be wear and tear. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's interesting. And I mean, I guess bringing that point up, right? It all differs state to state too, right? Because somebody in the Midwest is obviously going to deal with different weather and stuff that we're dealing with here in Arizona. And that's all taken into account, obviously, too, right? I mean, we don't get hurricanes here, but in Florida they do. So obviously that's super important there in Florida.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's totally different in different states. So yeah, we have like wildfires. We're looking at water damage, obviously monsoon season, wind and hail is covered. So
I can imagine, you're taking an application, right? And you're putting all these parameters in, you're asking them all these questions, and then you pop in the application, and then your company comes up with a quote based on these algorithms, right? I'm sure this is pretty similar for all the carriers. They might have a little different tweaks in their algorithm, but it's pretty much all those data points you mentioned, right?
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, I can't speak for any other company, and there's so many things that probably, well, I'm sure I don't know that's in there, but those are the main components that we see affect premiums.
That's interesting. We used to be able to put somebody in escrow as a real estate agent and say, okay, Lindsay, you go figure out your insurance needs. Okay. And just let me know if you have any questions. And typically it was like, no big deal. And it always got done, right? I always trusted my client could handle that. And now I'm very careful in who I refer them to. First of all, people like you. But also I'm not like guaranteed that that's going to be a smooth process anymore. And because I know there's so many insurance carriers out there, right? And so if I'm a consumer, where do I start? Some of these people come to me and go, okay, I don't even know where to start. I have to go get homeowners insurance. Do I get a bundle? Do I get an umbrella? Where do they start? Where do they start? How can you tell the difference between all these companies out there? Is it even regulated? I have so many questions on like, how does somebody start and who's the best people to go to? Maybe they broker these deals out. There's a lot of stuff that we don't know.
Who's the best to go to? State Farm, Lindsay Sapanaro's team. I can help you with that.
All right, okay. Good.
But no, but yes, to your point, it is, I mean, it doesn't have to be a process, but I guess people do make it a process. But you're right. Like it used to be like you could say, oh, here's the home and how much does it cost? Here's the zip code and the address, but it's so many other components. Same with car insurance, when they're shopping. So yeah.
Yeah. It's, and a lot of people find now when they're shopping for insurance, they find it's a lot more expensive than the last time they, got a quote. It's kind of a sticker shock thing nowadays. It kind of goes into the next question, right, Chase, regarding Arizona insurance.
Yeah. So how, and like these other areas, right, that are getting these natural disasters, the Florida, the hurricanes, all that stuff, is that impacting our rates here in Arizona, even though we don't experience that type of issue?
With Arizona and State Farm, we want to write business here. So we're doing all we can. We can write business up north. There hasn't been any restrictions up there. We're open for business. So here in Arizona, it's a great place to be.
Well, in fact, you've got a big operation, right, in Tempe for State Farm, right? I mean, that must be really
do.
cool because you're an agent in the field. You run a franchise, or whatever an agency, right?
Uh-huh.
And is that an operations that they have in Tempe? Or what's the big? All I see is a lot of big buildings with State Farm on them.
It is. Yes, it's one of our hubs. And then our main headquarters is in Bloomington, Illinois. And so we have executive teams there. We have underwriters. We have claims associates. We have administration. Let's see here. What else am I missing? A lot of our community engagement is there. We do a lot of work for the community. You probably, obviously, State Farm Stadium, we work with them. We work with so many organizations where we give back.
State Farm's been around a while, haven't they?
We have over 100 years. And so we sell all lines of products. So anywhere from your car, your home, rental properties, businesses, life insurance, cash value life. We do annuities. We do disability coverage, workers' compensation, pretty much everything that you need, we can help you with for the most part.
And so with all of that, those different varieties, are there different certifications that agents need in order to provide those different variety of products?
They do. Yes. So you need your property and casualty license. You also need your life and health license. If you're doing anything with securities, you need your securities licenses. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
And
it takes a lot.
do you guys basically offer all of that there at your branch, or do you guys have a specific niche that you kind of lean into?
Yeah, we offer everything, but anything that is in the marketplace with like securities. So.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Okay.
Do you is your niche more property and casualty, or what is your biggest thing that you're, I guess, the best at, Lindsay?
Well, you know what? Honestly, I think it's just protecting the overall customer, their assets. So we talk to them about what is car insurance? Like, what are you paying for? Number one is to protect your liability. So you're protecting your assets and you're protecting your income. So in the state of Arizona, if you cause an accident, the most we're going to pay out is the limit that's on your policy. If you cause any more damage than what's on your policy limits, somebody can come after you and garnish your wages up to 10 years, 25% per year of your income in the state of Arizona. Your home is only protected at $150,000. If you have equity, only $150,000 is protected in the state of Arizona. And so we talk to them about protecting their income. And again, what does that mean to them? If their dog bites someone, that's going to come under liability under their home. Obviously, protecting their home, protecting their car. We don't use the term full coverage. We talk about if they were to die, what does that look like for your family? And that's where life protection comes in. And income protection, like disability, if you're sick or injured and can't work, we don't say what is a medical doctor says what causes someone not to be able to work. Like, it's not like you have to be in a wheelchair. It's not like you have to anything. It's whatever the doctor says you can't work after, say, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, depending what your policy is. We're going to pay for your loss of income up to the limits on the policy. So we talk to them about all that protection.
It's interesting. I think a lot of people, when they shop insurance, they shop on price.
Mm-hmm.
I've always said that in the absence of value, cost becomes the biggest concern. And I think that there's transactional type of insurance agents, I'm sure, and there's probably value-oriented people, right? I would personally pay more to get somebody that I know, like yourself, that understands these things, that can give me some wisdom, than just shop for the cheapest policy. So, I mean, there's always a cheaper policy out there, isn't there? So people have a decision to make. Do you go with the very cheapest policy, or do you partner with somebody like yourself so you can actually get some consultation some good
Mhm.
advice that could end up saving you a bundle of money and really kind of set you up for the future. I mean, can you talk about the difference? Because I'm sure it's a very competitive industry.
Definitely. So you call some other companies and you're just working with a call center. Okay. And, they're just getting you whatever you ask for instead of educating you about, well, what does this mean to you? Well, what are you paying for? Maybe consider spending $10 more a month and you're going to get double the coverage. And so when they come to us, it might not be what they intended when they called. But it is our job to be the professional and advisor and make sure they have looked at all their protection. And so that's where we are that value add to them, is we are looking at that overall protection.
That's right. So when somebody comes and says, hey, Lindsay, I want you to look at my whole situation. Do you have a secret sauce that you put them through and just that way you can analyze everything that's going on, right? Their exposure, their investments. How do you do that?
Yeah. So we ask them about loans, their income, what their assets are, what do we need to protect? So income and assets, what do we need to protect? Future income, what do we need to protect? And like I said, current income, which is your assets now. And then based on that, we make recommendations for coverages they should have. I can never say that someone's going to have enough coverage because you never know what can happen. But I'm going to recommend whatever it is that they need to protect and future income.
Makes a lot of sense. Here's a leadership question, Lindsay. I was going to ask you. I mean, you're a strong woman, right? And every single person we have on this show that's done really well in life, it's crazy. It's uncanny. They all of them have pretty much had to go through struggle. Can you maybe share any struggle you've had, or when life was really tough and getting that agency going was really tough, and what did that, and how'd you learn from that? And I want to parlay that into, okay, how does that make you the leader you are today? So tell us a little bit about your journey, along the way.
Oh my gosh. Well, I would just say it started working for my dad's agency when, I worked so many hours and just all day. I mean, I just had such passion for helping customers, and I worked all the time. So that's where it started. And then eventually when I came out on my own, we started scratch. So with nothing, just like realtors, right? You guys start with nothing and you have to work your way. And so yeah, it's been a lot of hours day in and day out. Like I love to work out. So when I first opened, I had like spin bikes at my office. I had a treadmill. I had everything. So I was like, I'm never going to leave here. Even though it was right around the corner from my house. And so just working many, many hours. I mean, 7 days a week. Like I remember on my birthday, I was like 7 p.m. getting internet leads, calling on them. And it was like, mom and dad, like, and family, my husband and my son, like no one's going to see me for a year. And prior to that, it was kind of like that when I was ramping up for the business. So obviously like many hours still is. It's just like, but now it maneuvers to something different in terms of just the agency. I would say team is always the hardest. So like finding people, training them, training myself too, right? Like I hadn't been a business owner. So just like learning how to stay energized myself and then also bring it to the team, but also know with the team, they got to want it for themselves. Like as much as I could want it for them, I can't do it. Like I can give you the tools, I can give you the resources, I can be there. But at the end of the day, you have to be a self-starter. You have to be disciplined. You have to be focused. And if you're not those things, like I can do everything in the world, but at the end of the day, it comes down to you as the employee. So me learning that and not taking it to heart when maybe people don't work out, because I've had tough days when people, either they quit or I have to let them go. And it's been really hard, just like for me, getting mentally strong in the team aspect. So I think everybody will tell you that team is the hardest thing. And again, just you as the business owner, like learning, if you like starting your, like just any business that you start, like learning where you're most needed and then how to let things go to everyone else, let them fail, right? Like it's okay to fail, but you got to learn, and releasing that control, God, there's just been so many learnings. I mean, daily. I'm still learning every second of every day. I'll always be learning, right? And that's the other thing, right? Like we always have to be learning, or what are we doing here?
Yeah, and I guess on just the continual learning, right? I mean, are a lot of these offerings changing? The industry's changing, right? How do you guys stay up to speed on training the team on, hey, what new products are out, and how do we stay up on, leading edge stuff that's coming out that we can offer to people, right? How are you in front of that?
Yeah, I mean, we meet every single day. Our team leader, Paul, he meets with the team first thing to do a quick huddle. And then every day we're doing a learning of some sort. Either it's a training we've invested in from another State Farm agency owner, or it's us doing it internally on our team, talking about products, what's offered, what's not, what's excluded, what's not. And a lot of times it will come from maybe something that happened the day before, the week before. So it's constant. And that's a requirement here, is you have to want to grow. Like there's no way around that. You have to want to. And so
yeah, and that's similar to the real estate market, right? The market's always changing. It's important to be up to speed on what's going on so that you can better serve your clients, right? I mean, that's a big deal.
Mm-hmm. It is. Yeah. Yeah. How do you guys stay in front of everything?
Wow, what a great question, Lindsay. We never get asked questions. This is good. It's a challenge, right? And here's the thing: we have continuing education requirements as professionals in real estate. We have to go do 24 hours every couple of years, but that's not nearly enough. And most agents, 90% of them, that's all they do. And I spend about 5% of my operating budget on training. I'm going to Mexico next week to get trained for a whole week. Of course,
wow.
it is going to be in Cabo, which is nice. But it's.
Are you sure this is training?
Yeah, but I'm going to be rubbing elbows with some of the very best in the industry because you got to be in the right rooms with the right people. Okay. I hope the audience hears that loud and clear. You got to be in the right rooms with the right people, and you have to push yourself to always, you don't want to be the smartest person in the room. We've all heard that. So you got to always try to surround yourself with people that are better. And that's what I'm trying to do is be around people that are just flat out better business people than me, and be coachable. And not everybody's coachable. One of
that's
the things.
That's a big one. You're right.
Yeah. And I loved what you said, right? When you get past the point of becoming a victim in life, because a lot of people are victims. If it doesn't work out for them, they blame everybody else, right? But when you finally come to the point in life when you're like, you know what? If I'm failing in my job, or if I'm failing in anything for that matter, it's solely on me. And I came to that realization years ago. I have a pretty big organization, I'm at eXp Realty. And if somebody leaves, I believe I had a part of that failure, right? Maybe there's something I didn't deliver. So I'm always looking at myself, and it's called the law of the lid. John Maxwell, one of the greatest writers of all time, wrote about this concept of the law of the lid. The organization is not going to grow any faster than you are as a leader. And Lindsay, you're a perfect example of a person that always pushes herself, and you're not going to ask anybody to do anything on the team that you're not willing to do yourself. Right? And that's why people are going to continue to grow in your agency, because your value is around growth. And if you set that standard, man, people will belly up to that standard. And if they don't, you manage them up or you manage them out.
Yes, I'm a big believer in that. Yeah. Thank you, Jeff, for that. You said so many things that I didn't, but that I believe 100% about me growing as well. And the law of the lid, surrounding yourself with people who are better than you. Yeah. I'd say like that's a big thing. And I'm working on finding more and more groups, and you guys are people that I want to be with because of who you are.
Yeah. Well,
and I just want to keep growing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the reasons I'm in business with Chase, and now you can see how passionate I am about this topic, is I don't have to call Chase every day and manage Chase. If you have to manage somebody on your team, that's the right person or the wrong person. It's the wrong person.
Yeah.
Because I should not have to call Chase every day and go, Chase, will you get up and will you work hard today?
Right. Right.
No.
Don't forget to brush your teeth. Don't forget to brush your teeth.
Yes.
And he's self-resourceful. He knows how to figure out solutions, and I don't have to manage Chase. So that's the difference between talent and non-talent in my mind. Talent will manage me. I'm the leader. That person will manage me and outpace me and push me. That's when I know I have talent.
I completely agree. Yes, I know. So now we just got to I got to get in bigger rooms. Where should I go, Jeff?
Hey,
where should I go, Chase?
Yeah. Well, this is a good start right here.
I know.
We're creating a bigger room right here, us three right now.
I agree.
Right?
Yes.
That's right. I mean, Chase was on a couple panels in the last 30 days. He's one of the top agents in EXP in Arizona out of almost 2,000 people.
Oh my gosh, Chase.
Yeah,
Wow.
He's killing the game. Yeah, and he's gladly taking these opportunities to speak in front of people, and when he's going, he's networking with the right people. So you can't underestimate the power of collaboration and networking.
Yeah, because
100%.
Oh, sorry, Chase. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that, Jeff's too kind, but I appreciate that. And that's why I'm so thankful to be around, guys like Jeff, right? Because I'm always learning stuff. James Wilson, people like that, always trying to be around guys that have been doing it a lot longer. They know what they're doing, and they're sprinkling knowledge on us every day. So it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, you are lucky. Yes. And they're lucky to have you. So it's a win-win, right? I always say that for the team too, it's a win-win. We both give, and those are the best kinds of relationships. So
100%.
Another thing I noticed about you, Lindsay, when we were there is you're a servant leader. And so I really believe that about your heart. You serve people. And that to me is leadership at its highest level. You understand your people. You know what's going on in their lives. And earlier when I was a little younger and leading people, I always thought, I don't want to get too close to people because I have to lead them in a business scenario. And now I completely believe the exact opposite. I believe that I can still hold people accountable and become very close friends with them. And they have to know that there's a line. We're going to talk business and we're going to talk about friendship. But if you don't care about people, and their feelings, it's great salespeople sell to outcomes. Great salespeople sell to feelings. And so I always want to be in touch with people's feelings. And by doing that, I'm working on becoming a better leader. I think you understand your people's feelings, Lindsay.
Yeah, it's really important to have that relationship because, again, everybody's got that life outside of work too, right? And so if you can understand what's happening out there, you can know maybe why things are happening internally in the business, even though you shouldn't bring it to work, right? You need to leave it at the door. I think just having an understanding for that person, they really appreciate that from the leader. And then it also helps you to understand and maybe not get so frustrated if something's not happening. You can understand maybe it's just a period of time. So
yeah, no doubt. So Lindsay, any exciting projects going on right now that you guys are working on? What's on the docket for you guys for 2025?
You know what? I think for us, what's going on? Well, having our monthly meetings with amazing people like you guys, that's something that we put into place. So we had another meeting in February. You guys were January. You started it off. So we've got once a month meetings. We're trying to get out to some more team events together. We are sponsoring, let's see here, a couple golf tournaments in the community. what else are we doing? We do a lot of sponsorships with schools and their sports programs. Really, I mean, anything that is good for the community, I want to support. So if you guys have anything that you want me to or us to support, we want to help. And same with anybody who's listening, let me know. What else is happening this year? We're just trying to help more people, and as much as we can, be part of more networking community groups. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. So when somebody comes to work every day for Lindsay, do they know what success looks like? Like, I think that's a big mistake a lot of leaders make. They don't really share success metrics with their employees or the people they work with them. So the people go into the workplace and they don't really understand what being a high achiever means or what numbers they have to hit. Do you have any accountability in place to where your people know, okay, these are quotas or these are certain things that need to happen?
We do. And we are constantly reminding them of that. I would say, like, when you're new, there is so much thrown at you that you're like, just trying to remember what to do next in our business. And so we just have to keep reiterating, just stay focused on your calls, stay focused on your quotes, stay focused on relationships outside, bringing people in, and doing good for the customer, telling them about our referral programs. And the sales are going to come. But everybody, I think everybody has to have insurance, but really just taking that time to be that advisor to the customer, and be of help and service, like servant leadership, just from the other angle of, being the advisor, customers will come. So, but yes, accountability for sure for everyone on our team. Everybody needs to be called back. Every email needs to be responded to. Every text answered. So,
I think that's a great point to talk about too. Just the fact of doing the tasks and the results are going to come, right? We all set goals for certain indicators, but really, a lot of the focus needs to be on, hey, what are you doing every day in order for those to come, right? Are you making the calls? Are you following up in order to get to those results, right? The lead and the lag indicators. And, on real estate, James always says, hey, you don't need more escrows, right? Everybody's like, okay, how many escrows do I have? How many deals do I have in escrow right now? He said, hey, you need more friends. Go make more friends, go build more relationships, and the escrows are going to come automatically. And that's kind of what you said there. So I liked that.
Yeah. Can I ask, like, what groups are you guys a part of?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Chase. You want to start?
Yeah, for like coaching, networking, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we're a part of CRG, which is in a group in EXP that Jeff helped create and helped start. So we're a part of that. We have weekly trainings every single week where we're networking with other realtors and kind of bouncing ideas off of each other, figuring out, hey, what's everybody doing that is working, right? What's paying off? There's a lot of different ways to do this business. So it's a good way to kind of network with other realtors and kind of figure out what they're doing to succeed, which is super cool. Outside of that, me myself, I try to go to a lot of real estate events here in town. Some of the ASRIAs, investing events. And I just went to one last week. It was actually centered around people who own small businesses, mainly in the trades. So like construction, small businesses, concrete, drywall, stuff like that. But they had a lot of great speakers that went over just business practices and just motivational stuff in general. So it was nice being able to obviously network with a lot of other people. There wasn't a whole lot of realtors there, so it was kind of, good to be in that setting with other business owners. and then learning kind of about their business as well and how we can help each other out. I mean, it's finding more referral partners, because as someone who helps people buy homes, people need drywall people, they need painters, they need concrete work done. So we can all help each other out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Isn't that the best?
Totally.
Yeah.
We vet our partners so well, and because people trust us that if they want a landscaper or a general contractor or an insurance person, we know who these people are, and so we have very high standards around that. As Chase mentioned, we're a part of an organization called CRG, Collaborative Realty Group. Keyword collaborative. We like to collaborate, and then we're a part of a bigger organization within eXp Realty called Honey Badger Nation, and that's like 20,000 agents out of 90,000 across the world at eXp.
Wow.
eXp closed more business than any other company last year in 2024, for units, yeah. So the mastermind concept that came about from Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. I really believe in it because you're the sum of the inner circle that you hang around with.
Yes.
So you always have to ask yourself, who is your inner circle, right? You have to surround yourself with people that are just amazing human beings. So I've got a spiritual coach, I've got a physical coach, financial coach, right? In every specific discipline that's important, I have aligned myself with people that are just flat out better and smarter, and that improves myself. So it's all about collaboration, and you got to be picky. You got to be picky with who you pick, right? And you have to, you're going to kiss some frogs along the way, but you have to keep striving to align yourself with the right people, morally, ethically, and people that are doing good things. And so, I'm very passionate about who you align yourself with.
Me too. Yeah. Can we throw out those names for those coaches you have? Or is that allowed?
Give us a list.
Yeah, we need a list.
I mean, with me, I read a lot. And in fact, I've kind of cheated myself. I haven't read fiction for a long time. And my wife challenged me this year. She's like, you never read fiction. And I'm like, you're right. So I started reading fiction books this year. It's been beautiful. It's like I've robbed myself, and because all I've ever read is leadership books. And I'm like, so this has been great. That's a whole nother story. But I like to read stuff from John Maxwell. The guy's amazing. I read a lot of his. I listen to Dave Ramsey. I like what he says. There's some really top people in the real estate industry. There's a gentleman named Brent Gove in eXp. He's iconic in the industry. I listened to another guy named Randy Bird. Randy Bird, BYRD. He was my coach. I've got people all over the country that I listen to. Ed Milet, he's another one. I know he's a favorite of Chase's. So I subscribe to a lot of podcasts, and I take what I like and I discard the rest. John Sheplack is another one. He's really good. I just want to get the very best from what I can from all these different people. So Chase, anything else? Because I know you listen to.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the same. And I like I listen to a lot of different types of podcasts, a lot of them real estate based, and then just motivational in general. I like a lot of the older motivational speakers, Jim Rohn, Les Brown, a lot of the old OGs. So I listen to a lot of those, read their books. So I love all that stuff.
Les Brown, that guy is legit. And everybody knows me. I'm a part-time preacher, so I like to listen to preachers, right? If you want to get in a better mindset, go to church, listen to a preacher, right? And have them fill you with the word of God, and you're going to approach your day a lot differently, in my humble opinion.
I agree wholeheartedly every day. Yes.
Yeah.
So how do people get a hold of you, Lindsay? What's the best way for people to get a hold of you if they need some help, they need some guidance? How do they reach you?
Yeah, well, so you guys can call us at the office or text us at 480-347-9106, or go to our website. We're at www.insurance4az.com. Okay, so, or you can email me at team at insurance4az.com. So.
Beautiful.
This is great. So today we've had a rock solid leader on the show, Lindsay Sapanaro from State Farm Insurance out of Tempe, Arizona. I'm going to give you the last word, Lindsay. Anything else you want to share that we didn't ask you that you want to give to our audience?
If you are in need of a realtor, call Chase or Jeff at EXP
Oh, my
Realty.
goodness.
They are amazing and amazing human beings too, like experts in their field and phenomenal people who will take care of you. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Thank you
so
for
kind.
the opportunity.
And friends, I hope you enjoyed Lindsay. I hope you give her a call. She runs a great shop. She's going to work hard for you. Chase and I, we'd like to thank you for your time today. And if you ever want to get a hold of us, you can check my website out, jeffsutherland.com, or go to the Jeff Sutherland Show on YouTube. Subscribe to our show. We're on a roll. And then let us know how we're doing and what you'd like us to talk about. And again, my Rolodex and Chase's Rolodex is packed with people like Lindsay. So keep watching. We're going to keep bringing on good people. If you need a free consultation from us, sellers, buyers, investors, we handle all that. We even do commercial too. So give us a call and we're here for you. I hope you guys have a blessed week. Thanks, Lindsay, and thanks, Chase.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.